So
Coming
you
up
said
on
that,
My
okay,
Time to
yeah,
Talk.
I feel you, babe. Like, you're losing the spark. I've heard of this sex party that's happening. Do you think that would be a good idea? What is your...
I
so you're initially
would
like...
say you really don't know me, do you? That's what I would say to you. You really don't know me.
But you
that,
bought it
It's
to
just a trendy thing.
It's
just a
trendy,
trendy,
but then also it's still addictive.
Of course,
in the same
yeah,
way as
'cause it's got
cigarettes.
nicotine in
But then
it,
it's without the same thing of like you smelling like an ashtray, which was the negative
put off,
of
yeah.
cigarettes. That
happened in their past. They probably need therapy more than they need a fat injection. So that is so
and they
true.
don't want to invest in that. That's the thing.
That's
now.
it, they don't.
And the reason why is because they're like,
Because there's loads
we
of
know
stuff
we
that
fucked
you
you
can,
up. No.
No.
Young little black boy chopped up in the streets,
Yeah, coming
by a
out
man
his
with a
house.
sword that was disarmed.
Yeah.
He is not dead.
He was not shot.
He's not shot. He's
And
in
killed.
he is in police custody and will be awaiting
Yeah,
sentencing.
trial.
That is what should have happened to Chris Kaba.
Yeah.
Well, no, but if I'd have given it her before, then I still don't know if she's got a reaction to it. Do you know what I mean? So it's not everyone's been fine. They're all fit. So can I have that service?
I have to see about that book.
Well, I've been getting something.
Because that is on the same book is on the internet.
Riddle Answer. Your age.
Okay, one asked what the age thing was. I can't remember now. I always have to go back and have a look.
What goes
It's the
up and
brain.
never comes down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, age. That's a good one.
So, here we go again.
Speck of Rhea.
We are.
I can barely see an eyeball, Rhea.
What do you mean?
There you.
Go. We are. My Time to Talk. Once again. Is it on? Sorry.
Are we on?
Are we on? Are we
Everything
on?
on.
So the first thing is always, although we might be changing this up a bit,
I think so.
is the weekly affair.
Weekly affair. Weekly affair.
Okay. It's a good job she
It's
can't
the
sing.
weekly affair.
Otherwise he might take this as an audition.
All right.
It's not an audition. So I'm going to start
Go.
with the weekly affair. And it is the fat injection. Why? Ask ourselves, why? We're going to have a fat injection to get people back into work. Working as what? A skinny person? Do you know what I mean? Working as what? There is fat people that are in jobs right now. Do you know what I mean? Why do we need a fat injection to get people...
Why is it, if it's to make people lose weight, why is it called a fat injection? I'm confused.
So it's the injection will make you less likely to want some food.
So why is it called a
Therefore,
fat injection?
well, because it's to get rid of people's fat so they can get back into work.
So what's in the injection?
And the worst of it is we're going to be spending 279 million on this investment. Investment for who? You know what I mean? Investment for who?
So are they saying the only people unemployed are fat?
So that's it, you know what I mean? Does that mean that the only unemployed people are fat? Because there's a load of people that's working and they're fat, and some of them are nurses. So, you know, I mean, some of them are doctors. So it's not actually, to me, it's a waste of money. You've just stopped the old people from getting the payments for cold days, let me call it that. Do you know what I mean? You've just stopped them from getting payment for cold days, but you're going to spend 279 million on an injection to make sure that fat people can get back into work. What?
But they've got no money.
But what happens to the side effects of this injections.
So what happens? They just have it once a month, or like does it just fat burning? Do they still need to exercise? Like how does it work?
Still may cause
exactly, but that's what they're saying. They don't really know the ins and outs of it yet.
There's always a way it goes.
Shut up, you. But there is, the ultimate goal. Can I just finish this? Sorry. So the ultimate goal is to get people thinner. You know, to actually not have an excuse of that, to not go out and do some
But we
work.
know that if it's not, like, if the lifestyle hasn't been changed.
Well, that's what somebody else was saying.
But if the lifestyle hasn't been changed, then there's no amount of, you can keep giving them injection and then they'll be thin, and then once they're thin they'll start eating again and they'll be fat again, like,
and then we still going round in a circle,
yeah,
you know
like,
what I mean?
until they get to the root of why
what you gotta
these
do is
people
just
are
stop
overweight.
feeding them altogether.
Lord.
I'm only joking.
But
I just feel like that sounds as dumb as it is. So we're gonna stop giving people. And also, where do you draw the line at who's fat and who's not? Like, who's not classed as skinny?
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
What's their definition?
Yeah, because then, like,
it says that it's going to be obese, but the BMI most
obese
people
is basically like your sneeze.
Yeah.
Kids that they're obese.
Yeah, exactly. So,
I mean, don't get me wrong, some of them are.
They can to get into jobs.
Some of them are, and I'm like, how are you obese out here? Because I'm like,
how do you afford it?
No, I'm just like, how have you gone past the being not depressed as how that you're able to eat sort of thing? But then I suppose
but if you are depressed, you do tend to eat more type of thing.
Say, like, some people just.
So if you're having an injection for your fatness, then do you get an injection for your depression because of your fatness, or do you get told, well, you're having an injection for your fatness, so get on with it, get out there and work. Do you know what I mean? Because you're slimming down now, and that was your only problem. No, doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but what data are they depending that on? That like, what data are you getting that?
There's a pharmaceutical company behind all these.
Of course.
But like, you're fat, so you don't work. I don't understand what data they've got
Loads
that
of fat people that's working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's loads of fat people that's working. As I says, there's people that are nurses.
And all the people
there's
that
doctors.
I see openly with no jobs at the traffic lights, all of them are slim pickings. Slim as hell.
Drug addicts.
But like, still,
but
they don't look like they've got a 9 to 5, and
they need an injection
to get fatten up. That's how, and that would make more sense to be called a fat injection. Because I was like, what? So the fattening of people up to work? What's going on? They're gonna have what bunch of Santas? Is this like a little Santa?
Yeah, well, it is coming near Christmas,
right? Come on, Christmas is upon us. Fatten them up, guys. Get them in there.
Get them,
Black Santa. Asian Santa.
Diversity. So there's mine. I have got another one, but I will just zip it at the moment. And yours is. You go next.
Well, what is it?
Yeah, why are you zipping?
My other one. My other one is banning vapes.
Oh, that was mine.
Oh, well, we'll let you at it then. Come on.
No, they're banning vapes.
That's
about that's about as much as I had on that. Yeah, the banning vapes. I've only just found out through this ban that mixture of ban and vapes there. That there was a period of time, probably about a year ago now, that I would just be driving down the road and then I'd just see this flashing on the floor. And I generally was like, it was maybe some alien invasion. Like, I was like, are people now like just dropping like little monitors? Because the first time I saw it, it was like it looked like it was in a drain as well. And I was like, what the fuck is this flashing in the drain? So I got in my car immediately and just dispersed of the area without reporting. Honestly, the apocalypse could be happening behind me and I'm not telling no one. And then, now it turns out, because one of the girls in the interview, when I was listening to it, I heard it on the radio. She was like, oh yeah, it kills me when that little light stops flashing. Starts flashing. No, like, so the vapes, when they run out, that's when it starts flashing.
Oh
so then like you've just got this little like light just in the day. So they're just throwing them on the floor.
Yeah.
Which is part of the reason why they banned them. They're just throwing them on the floor, but then like there's just these lights flashing. But really, if you think about it, and like, sorry to go on the like sustainability rant and stuff like that, but then so you've got this discarded thing that's actually causing quite a bit of like distraction. Do you get what I mean?
It's harm as well to the environment because it's mercury and lithium,
and for it to be still flashing there,
and in a
like,
drain
on its own, in a drain. Do you know what I mean? It's not actually doing anything like constructive. It's not disintegrating. It's not doing anything, and you've probably got like 20 puffs from it. And your lungs are probably...
No, you got 20 puffs if you've got an illegal one.
I think I said they got till June 2025
but it wasn't it less than a couple of years ago that they says, oh, well, this will stop people from smoking. Let's get everybody on vapes.
I think they still can have vapes, just not the disposable ones. You have to get the
illegal ones, they're saying, because you can get up to ones that are up to 2,000 puffs.
That's
and
what I mean.
Things like that.
But they are just disposable, like they're one use. Basically, them ones, that's what they're saying, because then once it's done, you have to buy the refill.
So really, all it is about money, that they still want you to have a vape, but get the ones that are in the shops.
It's always about money.
That you can get refills on. You know what I mean? So as I say, it's like...
But yeah, I feel like, really, just ban the whole things. Like, I know that it just... I get, like, that it is, like, a new form of the addiction, but with the fact of how you sold cigarettes in the same kind of trendy kind of way, then you learn that, like, actually, I don't really know the point of which you knew that it was really bad for you, but when you told people that it was really bad for them was like something 20 years later. So if we can now learn from that and just say from now, potentially just ban vapes, then at least all the people that have started on it in the last like 3 years or whatever can start to wean it out gently. I mean...
And start smoking.
Well, I feel like they don't want to be smoking. That's the thing. I
think
like
with the kids, it's like become kids, like just a trendy thing.
It's trendy, but then also it's still addictive.
Of course,
in the same way as
it's got
cigarettes.
nicotine
But then it's without the same thing of like you smelling like an ashtray, which was the negative of cigarettes. That like the newer generation, exactly. Like the newer generation were just like, wow, there's a form of still getting my kicks and giggles because you can put whatever in there as well without having to smell like that or like have that essence around you. And technically it's not smoke, it's vapor or whatever. But like in the same way, it's more palatable for people who don't want to be around smoke altogether. Do you get what I mean? It has kind of...
Are you still puffing at something?
But I feel like it's still having a negative effect on you. Otherwise, they wouldn't be talking about what is it, secondhand smoke and all that stuff. Like, you're still, something's still coming out of you. That essence is still going inside of you. Like, you know, I just feel like we still don't know what
popcorn lungs or something like that.
So it is having
so it is what's it is.
And we're only just learning the effects of flipping things that happened like 30 years ago that are like killing off people now.
Yeah, exactly.
And all of these people are coming out with all this autoimmune stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, your autoimmune has nothing to do with that autoimmune, and that autoimmune has nothing to do with that autoimmune. There's something that's linking these mama jabbers. Do you get what I mean? So let's start be correlating that evidence, not talking
because,
about language is offensive to dogs. Or
well, you can go into a hospital right now and your finger could be bleeding, and they will say to you, "Are you a smoker?" And you think to yourself, "What has that got to do with my finger?" Type of thing, you know what I mean? Because you know that a lot of things correlate with smoking, is what you're trying to say. But at the end of the day, you started this shit with smoking is relieving your stress. Well, that's what you said about vaping too. Do you know what I mean? Like, you won't have to have all this secondhand smoke and you know what I mean? And now we need to ban this.
And in relation to that as well, like someone that I know was actually going to do therapy, but then the therapy people that they spoke to basically said, oh, like, do you smoke like weed? And he was like, yeah. And they were like, oh, well, we can't really help you until you stop doing that.
What?
And I said, that sounds like the dumbest shit that I've ever heard, because part of the reason that you may need therapy is to stop smoking weed. So therefore, how are you supposed to help me understand why I'm in this addictive state, or that I'm doing these things, if I can't have therapy before I stop it? I need the help. It's dumbness.
And what about the hypnotherapist and all that
like
stops
someone
you
else who will help you regardless of the state? It shouldn't even be a question on there. What the fuck has it got to do with that? Do you get what I mean? And people who are vaping, they do not see it as smoking, so they would happily uncheck. No, I don't. And when are you gonna start saying, do you vape? Do you inhale through a snorkel?
Second-hand.
Do you go around with the snorkel? They're gonna have to start putting extra boxes on the
more boxes.
Balloons and all that.
Do you balloon?
Nitrous oxide.
Yeah, look at all them balloons that was around 2 years
and they're
ago.
getting mist and stuff like that. So you're not able to.
That's true, actually.
Like this is what I'm saying. Actually, I feel like your generation was liberal, did whatever the fuck, because there was no rules. No speed cameras, no
that was a generation
no
before
anything
me.
like that. No. You guys drove around, no licenses, no insurance.
We had to have licenses.
Batty out, 30 over thingies, leaving your kids in your door.
Ex-husband had a
no one else in
from the
house,
age of 19.
all of that stuff. Then we had to deal with the rules and the repercussions and consequences of that. And now this new generation get all of this new technology, and because no one knows how to deal with it, they get to go and live their life and enjoy it and break all the rules, basically, without consequence. And their generations are going to have to now be like, so we get the consequences of, now we can't smoke a fucking cigarette, can't have a vape, can't smoke a bit of weed,
and then get
therapy,
and then get the therapy.
Yeah, all we do is they'll probably be like, straight out of school, it's compulsory for you to get therapy. Oh, great. So now I can't even just have a negative thought.
That might be actually a good thing if everybody had therapy straight out of school.
Of it. And then the people who are going to be like,
cut to the, because even then people that have been injected, they might be fat because of something that happened in their past. They probably need therapy more than they need a fat injection. So that is so true.
And they don't want to invest in that. That's the thing.
That's it, they don't.
And the reason why is because they're like,
we
know we fucked you up. No, we know we fucked you up. The person that needs to do the therapy for the rest of the stuff, we need to put therapy in you first, so you understand where your shit's gone wrong, so you can help teach the rest of the people. We're not doing that.
But there's loads of pharmaceutical stuff that's coming forward that they don't want to unqualify a lot of things for medication, because they know there is a pharmaceutical option that is looking they're looking to give you, so don't want you in therapy, because that might actually get you better.
Exactly. And that is why in anything, if you think about it, they've made some man-made version of how to heal you so that they can make money off you. But even money is man-made, so even before then you were trading. It was very much people orientated. There was nothing attached to it that you could then over-generate from. You can't over-generate from, I've got more people that I know than you. Do you get what I mean? Like, it's just, it is what it is. But then they've introduced like medicines that they can make in a machine in a factory to take the human element out of it, so that you're not getting anything extra. You're not understanding, like, even when you're getting taught, like as a doctor or anything like that. You're just reading from this textbook. You're not getting the teaching of the people who have done it before you. Do you get what I mean? And
but really, you're not even listening to your patient, because like, as I said, I know I've said it before, but you know, like a doctor's telling me, oh, it doesn't cause you breathlessness. I'm experiencing it, which I didn't have it before. So don't tell me what my body is telling me. Do you know what I mean? Just because you didn't learn it in a book doesn't mean that it's not happening.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Just because you didn't learn it in a book.
And that's the thing. Like, if you think of anything from any other background as like a detective, if you as a doctor at the top of your field, if you're not trying to find a solution to what the issue is, that is literally your job, to find a solution to what the issue is. If you're a detective and you go into a freaking room, imagine Pyro just went in the room and went, did you do the crime? and they said, no, it wasn't me. Okay,
let's move on
to the next one. Did you do the crime?
You make very good points.
And then we went through all of it, and then they said, oh, no one did the crime. They all told me they didn't do the crime. So we're not even going to investigate.
Exactly.
We're not just going to take it on word thing.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Or we're not going to say anything further to get this like to a conclusion. The conclusion isn't been found then.
Yeah, it still hasn't been found.
Doc, I'm still feeling the pain. What you've said has not worked. We need to find another thing. We need to crack on. Do you know what I mean?
You know, and if you're not going to crack on, don't give me another medication because you think that might work. And let's find out what was the original problem was. You know what I mean?
And that's it. I think like just kind of going back like to the vape thing. It's what we're getting sold as the kind of input for the things that we are finding negatively. So instead of saying, oh, okay, like making, like, as I said, like before, like therapy, it's sick to go therapy. Do you know what I mean? I know obviously they are promoting it more and stuff like that, but as like something that's compulsory, you're focusing on the things that are bad. You're saying, okay, we're going to ban all vapes because it's having a negative impact for anyone. What are you replacing that with? What are you saying in place of that? We're doing this as an alternative. Like when they said, oh yeah, we want to do a whole stop smoking campaign. They were saying, oh yeah, like we'll talk to you, doctor, we'll help you stop smoking. And then we're going to send you on a course, you have to pay for it. Or were you going to have to get these thingies to pay for it? Do you know what I mean?
Because I remember a girl saying that, like, you're going to tell me that I can't smoke in my workplace, but I need to smoke because I am addicted to smoking. So don't go pretending that I can just say, not smoking anymore. And that's okay, because it's not. It's not okay. You know what I mean? You've now got me addicted to smoking, like you've got me addicted to vaping or whatever. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to ban that now and it all will be okay. All you do is black market it. You put it under the counter because people will still do it.
They'll just buy it from China or wherever, and then there'll be no like thingy over it, legislation over it. That's when they're bloody burning down houses when they're charging it and shit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because
nobody's got any. What's it on it then?
So my weekly affair is the Chris Kaba shooting. The officer was found not guilty. Obviously, this has been a trial that's been going on for a while now. So obviously conflicting, because not surprised. I'm surprised it kind of got to the point that it did, to be fair. But also it just still stirs up the same kind of anger and frustrations, because it, similar to things that we've spoken about in the past in terms of black people and the police, like there's already a mistrust, there's already a fear. Let's be honest. Do you know what I mean? So
there's already a one rule for you, one rule for us.
Most definitely, that's clear. Do you know what I mean? That's clear. And while they've kind of kept Chris Kaba's actual personal life, you know, out of the headlines up until this point, now it's become that, and now this is being a reason. This is being seen as a reason to justify his murder, basically. So yes, he was in a gang. Yes, he was in a shooting a week before, but they are two separate incidents, and the police are not paid to be judge, jury and executioner. They are paid, and yes, they were armed police, I understand that, but the car that Chris was actually in was registered to somebody else. They believed that Chris was this person. So there's already a thing of you've got the wrong person. First of all, you didn't go there to arrest Chris.
You went there to kill him.
But they didn't go there to arrest Chris for the shoot. Like, people are trying to put two and two together. Like, well, he did that shooting last week, so they were there to basically finger him. That wasn't the case. They were there to thinking under the assumption that he was somebody else. Do you know what I mean? And we know that they don't recognise black people. They can't tell the difference between black people. Do you know what I mean? So they've shot the wrong person, first of all. Do you know what I mean?
Was you supposed to be there to shoot someone?
Well, they're armed police. So this is obviously how he's got away with it, is that they're saying that they have the thingy to do that, and so it's taking away their power if they're gonna then be brought up into court for every thingy death, every yes, basically. But yes, you should, like, it should always be investigated, because it's still a murder. Do you know what I mean? Like, however you want to think it should still be investigated. But hold on, so my point being, like, either way, it was like he was shot in the head. Do you know what I mean? So this is a shoot to kill. Why is it always shoot to kill with us? You remember Daniel Anjanou, where the Brazilian man with the sword in North London, was it? Just this year.
Chopping up people.
Yes, basically. Poor young little black boy chopped up in the streets. By a man with a sword that was disarmed. He is not dead.
He was not shot.
He's not shot. He is in police custody and will be awaiting sentencing. That is what should have happened to Chris Kaba. That is what should have happened to the many others that we probably don't even hear about. Like, I had to Google, like, the list afterwards, and, like, it literally, my jaw dropped, because I had never even heard of half of these names. Literally, there's one of a lady that was sexually assaulted in police custody. They found that she'd had a date rape drug. Do you know what I mean? Multiple rapes on this woman.
It doesn't even surprise me.
And nobody's been convicted. Do you know what I mean? Christopher Alder, back in the day. Do you know what I mean? This man was unconscious in a cell. And policemen were around him making monkey noises when they knew full well he was dead and his pants was down. Like, this is the dehumanization that we have to face. Do you know what I mean? And then fast forward, fast forward
girls that was found dead by somebody else.
The two sisters that were murdered, and the police that were meant to be protecting the scene have gone there, taken pictures of their bodies, and then are putting it in WhatsApp groups to recruits, to people that they are actually supposed to be mentoring. So isn't that showing these young people, the younger ones coming up, this is how we do it. This is how we treat them. Do you know what I mean? And you can get away with it.
Because you won't be named now.
And
just passed the law
Cooper,
that you're not to be named. You know what I mean? So that means that you will never
we won't
know
even hear about it unless these people are convicted.
I mean?
Do you know what I mean?
But
and
the
we
thing
know
is,
they're
though,
not getting
and
convicted.
the other thing is that it was said that he was up on a murder charge. So if he was up on a murder charge, now you have not given that family a chance to get justice because he killed their family member. So by shooting him in his head, you've allowed him to get away with murdering other people.
They don't care.
And what's
about
it?
that,
You know.
Mum.
So what happened
They don't
to hitting
care
a different
because
part?
it's another black
hitting him in the leg
person.
or
Do
something.
you know what I mean? It wasn't
Is that
about that at
I
all. They
feel
don't give a
like
shit.
At the end of the day, when they're supposed to be doing their formal investigations of all of this shit and you got called out to leave that office on that day, at no point in that debrief did they say, if cannot be whoever it was supposed to be for, if not caught, shoot him. There was no point that was written down, part of the brief, because legally it shouldn't be. I don't care, armed police or not. Yeah,
But he was
the
already
only time,
boxed in,
the
yeah.
only time that you're as armed police that you should be going off like that is when you also see a weapon or a threat of a
that's
weapon.
it.
The man was boxed in his car and he didn't leave the car, so there was no conversation for you to even identify this as not the right person.
And he's got a gun in his hand.
There's
And
anything
there was
like that,
nothing
he's
in
on
the
the
car
steering
either.
wheel,
Yeah.
and even if he's reversed, you've got an arm thingy, shoot out the window, shoot out the tyre. You're trained for that shit. So stop the vehicle, because what we're trying to do is apprehend the suspect.
That's what this guy is trying.
But then, even so, nowhere in the
Remit.
debrief, the
In your
training
remit.
or anything like that, are you, like you said, executioner, to be able to bring him up to say, well, whatever the fuck it was that he was doing, that you can go and say, oh, it was okay for me to shoot him in the head. It just wasn't.
It's
It
not
doesn't matter.
acceptable. It's
So
not
it
acceptable.
doesn't matter what you have to say as evidence. You cannot be shooting them
I
in
don't
the
care.
head.
I don't care
it
what the
doesn't.
fuck you do.
It doesn't
Literally,
matter.
I don't
Yeah,
care.
it doesn't
You can,
matter.
because
and this is what I'm saying exactly with how the Asian guy, where it was like, you're roughing him up, you're dashing him down, you're punching him in his face. It doesn't matter
what you've
because
done.
you are supposed to be the police here. It's like being an adult in front of your child and your child going, you
in a
fucking
position
dirty
of
slut.
power,
You're
yeah.
like,
You're not going to box that child down.
You fucking dirty slut. Yeah, fuck off.
Are you
man.
gonna
Go
box
fuck-
that child
You're gonna
down?
box the child down.
No.
Shoot him in his
And
face.
You're the
Do you get what
parents.
I mean? If your child comes to you and thinking he does, he's in a sticky situation, he goes and fucking slams the door or goes to finger, you're gonna shoot him in his head. Do you get what I mean? Like, I don't understand where, you can get off with using whatever
He's done.
that has been provoked by you as an excuse anymore.
So is that
at
going to be a
least-
norm
at
now?
a
That it doesn't
minimum,
matter who
That's
was
what
in the
I'm
car.
saying.
That's going to be a norm
You
now.
need
You're going to
to
shoot
be
everybody.
That's
taken
what they're
out
telling
of
you.
the police force as a minimum. You need to be put in jail because you've killed someone maliciously. That's malicious killing. You've seen a brown person, you didn't like that.
I know, 'cause he was a baddie, really.
No, but regardless,
You
you've
know
seen
what I
a brown
mean?
person because you didn't
They didn't
speak to
know
him
who
long
he was.
enough to know who the fuck he was.
They
So
didn't
you've
know
seen
who
a
he
brown
was, they
person
killed.
and you've maliciously, with training, shot him in the head through a moving car. That takes some fucking training. Do you get
And
what I mean?
then stole his Rolex after that.
Eli.
Yes.
Oh, they didn't mention that,
Yeah.
did they?
Yes.
You know what I mean? There's too much normality in how we're killing black people, because we're not killing everybody in the same
Because they
normality.
can- yes,
You're doing
that's
it
my point.
because you want to do it.
Because
I was
they were
even
doing it
reading
to white people.
I was
like this.
reading about a Dale Semper. He's a bank manager who was stopped in the street. He was on a traffic thing originally, and then you suddenly put it up to that he must have drugs. So he went to his house. He's a bank manager, and because he's driving a lovely car is the reason for stopping him in the first place. But because he's driving a lovely car, he can't be a bank manager who's earning 70,000 a year. He had to be a drug dealer. So you went to his house, you went to his girlfriend's house, and you went to his mom's house. And these are the stories that we are not hearing about. It went 7 years down the line for him to get compensation off you. But how is it ever going to drive a nice car
Well,
again?
can I just
How
say
is he
as well,
ever
with
going
what-
to have a
with
normal
what you've
life?
Just said as well,
You know what I mean?
The amount of
They've ruined his
levels,
life.
the amount of levels that as a decent person you turn around and you realize, okay, yeah, I'm taking this too far. At the point that even if you've gotten to the point of going to the first person's house and you've identified that this person is what they say they are, you've realized your privilege, your what's the word? Not privilege. Your
That you've got it
stigma.
wrong and
Yeah,
you've
your
thought,
racism.
oh,
or
okay,
whatever
that I've
thing
been
is.
racist
Yeah,
here.
my discrimination.
Yeah.
You recognise, okay, I was being.
He's got a lovely car because he's a bank manager.
Yeah. I'm sorry, that's it, done. Do you get what I mean? And then you
they-
move on
no,
and you learn
they
from
don't,
it.
though.
You, even in the thing of,
becomes like a
yes,
personal attack on them.
shot him in the head. I shouldn't have done that because if it was someone else, I probably
they
wouldn't
don't
have
say
done
sorry.
that. This is what I'm.
They
But
don't say
it's
sorry,
not
because
even a
that's
thing of.
admitting it.
It's not even a thing
Fault.
of like, I'm sorry. Just the fact of yes, I shot him in the head and I shouldn't have done that. That's it. The thing of it, that acknowledgement and to show someone that actually. To perpetuate the message of actually, they've recognised, they saw the fact that you've done that, but it's the fact that they keep going and just like mustering in their fucking discrimination and racism.
And it's the
You're not
same with-
admitting that. You're not saying at the first person's house, actually, I fucked up. You're taking it too far, and you're going to the point of being like, you little. Basically, I'm just going to keep on shouting on and on because you've basically, by just proving them wrong, you've cast something in them. Do you get what I mean?
And now they'll have to do a little course, but they'll still keep their job.
Because they have
but
to
they'll still be
admit to the
pissed.
And that's what their
that
guy
they'll have
says.
to keep a
And we
that they'll
will
have
put
to do a course.
a link
Do you know
to
what I
that
mean?
Dave Simper
But
one.
that reminds me of Fuse ODG. He's a rapper, like an African rapper, and obviously he's doing well for himself. Do you know what I mean? And he's constantly getting stopped by the police. And like he literally was recording with his friend one time in the car, and the police woman was like knocking on the window. Excuse me, can you wind the window down? And they're like, what the hell? Like literally, we're sitting here minding our business. What do you want? And they're like, oh, excuse me, just wind the window down. Like, they're just getting, like, fingered. I can smell weed. He's like,
And that's all you have to say.
That's all you
He
have
said, all you have to
I
say.
can smell weed.
I can smell
Big old
weed.
paddy wagon, everything. Do you know what I mean? Drag him out of his car.
Don't you remember the one where
it's
they
ridiculous.
were driving
it's
along
absolutely
and the
ridiculous.
policeman
No, shit
actually
has
knocked the
changed.
glass
Shit's
out
not happening.
because he wouldn't wind the window down. They actually knocked the glass out. And I've seen loads of comments in regards to the Chris Kappa thing that, he was a bad one. You didn't know that.
You don't know.
Till after the event.
You don't know.
Do you know what I mean?
And this is what I'm saying.
It's not even an excuse to kill a person. It's not an excuse to kill a person. Do you know what I mean? Because as I says, even if he is a baddie, the fact is that you're saying that he was up on a murder charge. Somebody hasn't got justice because you shot him in the head.
Of a baddie. This is my point. What is the definition of a baddie?
Queen's a baddie.
If this
The
person
king's a
has
baddie.
been raped, like this
All
is a
of these people
Congolese
is a
man.
baddie.
Do you know
I'm
what I mean?
going to jail
This is a
if I went and
man.
shot them in the head.
This is a man that's come from Congo. Do you know what I mean? So we all know what fucking's been going on from Congo from the back in the day. So this is a young man. Do you know what I mean? He's coming from a war-torn country, coming into a fucking city that obviously has got no love for black men anyway. Do you know what I mean? Obviously you're gonna be thinking like it's not obvious, but it's not easy for these young people out here. So if you just want to like take one snapshot of this boy's life and frigging make your judgment, then more for you, because obviously you've done nothing wrong in your life, and this is what I just want to end it on. We as black people always have to be the perfect victim. Do you know what I mean? We always have to be the perfect victim in order to get some kind of sympathy or compassion or something from these people. Do you know what I mean? Even our own people will be looking like, well, yes, he was in a gang. You know what I mean? Like, we can't. You have to be perfect. You have to have made no mistakes in your life. And who does? Who has lived
a bank manager?
Life? This is my point.
How perfect can you get? And you still stopped because you've got too much money.
So therefore, that's the point. It doesn't matter
Doesn't
whether
matter
he was
what
in a
you
gang.
are.
It doesn't matter if you're a schoolboy. It doesn't matter if you're working
You
in
could
a
have
bank.
still been
It doesn't matter how you've
shot.
made your
Well,
success.
I
you
would
would
just
still
say-
end up shot like a dog in the street.
I would
Actually,
just
no, because
say-
they treat a dog better than that.
Yeah, because that
But
would be
I would
nasty.
still say it does matter because you're doing it for yourself. So still, don't go and be in a crime.
No, I
a
know. I'm
gang
not
or
saying
whatever.
that. I'm saying in
They
terms of
will
their
feel
thinking,
like
the people that are saying
they
that.
will address you and
Yeah.
feel that way about you regardless. But even so much so to them to go and be still the best person that
Yes,
you
of
can go and
course.
fucking be.
Yeah.
Because
But that's what
fuck
obviously a
them
lot of
at
these
the end
people are
the day,
striving
because
to
they
do.
will put like them perpetuating that thing, them knocking on your window. That's their way of seeing that you're unfazed, you're unbothered, and having to do something about it.
they'll
But
roll
once
you
again,
to a point,
they cannot
yeah.
kill all of us, and if they do, then that's when shit needs to hit the fan.
Yeah.
But you can't kill all of us at the end of the day, so still keep on trotting on. And don't, as much as it is like, you know, the same things that are happening and we're still bringing up the message, I still feel like still perpetuate the knowledge of that shit happening, but the fact of you don't have to be in the situation that he was in terms of feeling that way, because how's about we go and support each other to know that actually you're not having to be in no gang in the first
and that
place,
is
But
amazing.
until this stuff is put
perpetuating
in
that
place,
message.
like we haven't got the resources to do that. So until they know this is a problem of their own making. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
but
if
this
we
is
had good
where-
education, if we're not born bad.
But this
do you
is
know what I
where
mean?
I'm
Like we have
saying,
all the
in the
capabilities
sense
of being fucking
in
better
the
than these
sense
people.
of- yeah, exactly. But that's where I'm saying we have all the capabilities,
we don't have the
but we're not doing
resources.
it. But we're not doing it though. We're not striving for it either.
And as a sidebar, I actually said to Ria today, I said like, we got to be a bit careful about how we talk about the Chris Kappa. That is our problem.
No.
That is our problem. We're always willing to
You gotta talk
play
about how you
down
wanna talk about
stuff.
Because how are you ever gonna thingy? Like,
because
change
we
things
feel
if you
like,
don't
oh,
actually
we're
have
scared
open
to have
conversations
an
about
open
it.
conversation
There's
about
no-
it.
there's no scared
And that's what
at
I'm
the end
saying.
of the
Like,
day.
it's fair
That's where
enough.
I'm
It's all
saying.
well and good to say, strive to be better, but you can't strive to be better if every time you're walking down the street, there's some fucking guy that's saying, "Come on, today's the day you're
I
gonna
think
work for me. You're
what's
gonna work
it?
for me. You're gonna want to work for me."
Yeah,
Like I saw on
exactly.
Instagram, this boy has been missing for 4 weeks. Finally, he came home, and it's a county lines thing. This woman has been bawling every day on Instagram
About where
her,
is he,
where's her
where
son?
is he?
Please just come home. Like they know he's alive, but they can't get him home. Do you know what I mean? So it's easier said than done when parents are working and trying their best, and their kid still ends up fucking
But
on the
this
streets.
is where, but that's what I'm saying. The deeper issue is that your kid is able to be out on the streets. If you wasn't having to work and if you had a 2-person household, so all of these things,
Even
if
then,
you
as
think
you said.
no, but I genuinely
got a
feel like as
2-person
a
household.
foundation, like that's a better situation
Yeah,
than
of
you're in a
course,
single
of
6-person's
course,
household. You have no one to, as a boy,
Stay home with
all
the
of these
child.
boys as well, that majority of them have no father figure in the
Yes,
picture,
it's very
and that has been
important,
pushed
yeah.
out a lot because of the breakdown between black women and black men. So if that isn't mended, first of all, like we have to be looking at now as the older generation at the ways in which of all of this shit has had an effect on us as it is. Yes, they've been able to get their digging because they made it that way. They've perpetuated that way. But it's
systematic.
acknowledged. Yeah, but it's acknowledging that system and saying, we're not going to be part of that system then.
And a lot of people
Hyperly
are
avoid
waking
that.
up to
So
it, yeah.
if you know then you're like your son or daughter or whatever is more prone to being something that you know isn't a good thingy, do everything anti that. Don't have him out on street. Do your best to have some kind of father figure around him, even if it's not the father. If it's not
you gotta
those
go to
things.
school. You gotta get on the bus to school. You got, you know what I
But
mean? Like
those
it's
are-
easier
those
said
are-
than done. Is
yeah,
all
but
I'm
those are
saying.
things that your
you can
other
have
kids
all
are
the best
doing.
thingy in the world,
Yeah,
and this
Well,
shit.
and
At
it
the
is
same
a
time-
matter.
living in the area where that shit's happening.
and
You
that's
can't pick up
exactly-
your whole life and move. Do you know what I mean? So therefore, your child still ends up growing in that area.
But
is all I'm saying.
the other thing is that people's got to remember that if you just because your mom and dad can't afford something, or your mom in particular if she's by herself, doesn't mean that you're going to stop wanting it. type of thing, and that means that you will be attracted to the guy that says, "Come and work for me." Do you know what I mean?
Or just says, like, I've got
so
this,
if it's a one-parent family, you need to address the fact that that family is probably going to need more help than the majority of the families to stop that young man or young woman from being in these situations where they get into gangs and things like that. You might have to address the things, but you know what? I don't think you really want to. I really don't think that the system wants black people
exactly as it was
it's working exactly as it's intended to do.
But
you don't want us to have fathers in the home. If you wanted us to have fathers in the home, you'd make their life a bit more easier, that they don't have to go out there and do 2 and 3 jobs and still not see their family. They wouldn't have all this thing that's been going on for generations. And if it's been going on for generations, that means that you know the things that is making things go awry, the reasons why these children are going into gangs. You know why they're carrying knives. You've still got adverts on the television, and they're probably more than likely sitting in front of a television, but you've got the best knife for cooking. They're not cooks, and the people that is cooks is not going to be sitting in front of the television looking to get one of those knives to cook their food. They're not. Do you know what I mean? And any knife will do when you're cutting up an onion.
And that's what they're saying about these fucking fingers.
But it's true. I'm saying
I would just say like that. My last 2 pence is going to be that yes, I understand that most of it is systematic. If you're aware of the system, be against it then and do everything you can.
That's it, but they're not a lot of the time.
But this is what I'm saying. As a people, we're not going against it. Do you get what I mean? If you're saying that you're living on all these areas or you're around all these people, get away from it then, because it is still an option at the end of the day. And I understand that they've perpetuated a thing of, well, you need money to do certain things. You don't. Sometimes you actually just need to make the effort to say, I'm coming out of this situation, and you come out of it because this thing that they've got over us, that like we're kind of like the glass ceiling, as it were, that we are now holding over ourselves. Fuck it.
But to tell you the truth, I mean, like, here's another thing. Stephen Lawrence's mom.
Can we move on to the next segment?
Stephen Lawrence's mom did that, actually. She moved out of the southeast of London to Welling, where he was killed. And she moved there specifically because she wanted her son out of gangs and everything like that. Still died. So anyway, as you said, it's like, move on.
It's not out of gangs. It's just a more white area, and
that's it.
That's the difference.
But I'm saying that
it's not better off. And this is where I'm saying how we were talking about the difference of earlier when we were saying the moving out or like going somewhere else. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be a better thing. Like us, our parents or grandparents coming over to England, you've done that blind. For what reason? Why are you going to be away from the people that you thinking? Like, I'm saying, you're doing your research, you're doing the thing that's going to be best for you, your partner, your family, not
but
just going to say, okay, I'm going to like divide. I'm already coming from a divided family. I'm also going to take him away from people that look like him. I'm also going to alienate him in those feelings. But that's what I'm saying. She's thought, I'm taking him out of these gangs to go to this area.
He wasn't in a gang. She just wanted her family in a better area.
In a better area. But what you're perpetuating as a better area is where the white people are. And that's what I'm saying. As a black people, you keep following where the white people are.
Right.
Instead of making your own shit and building on your own shit. Stop living in this white world. Because that is the ceiling that they hold over your head. Because you can't attain for something that you haven't made yourself. So you're attaining for a white world. Do you get what I mean?
I get you.
If you've never seen it, it's hard to visualise it.
So
and that's why these people are doing this shit.
You know, I want to be getting a Golden Globe Why? Because it's a white world. That's what they created.
But you
Those
don't
are
want
my
it. You don't
girls.
need that golden
You're
globe.
chasing something that they've created. Stop trying to be accepted by their police.
Yeah, that's
they
right. I agree
created
with that. I agree
and
with
that's
that.
where I'm saying, stop, come out of that completely and realise that
That's
the
what I
whole of
always
it
say,
is a
so-
system in order for us to move forward. On to the next thing.
A heated debate, and that's one of the things that we did say
Yeah, we haven't
that
even
is going to
fucking
get
done a dilemma.
So now we're going to do the dilemma. Over to you, Rish.
Oh, is it dilemma?
Yeah. It's you.
Okay. All right, here we go. So I'm not going to do the one that you thought I was going to do.
Oh gosh! After you wrote the 2 paragraphs, the preemptor to the dilemma.
You and your husband have been married for 12 years and you are very much in love with him and him you. Although you have love for your man, the monotony of life has started to take its toll, and as your children start growing up and needing you less and less, it's opening up a lot of free time between the two of you, showing that the sexual spark you may have had has dwindled a little bit. You definitely find him attractive, but he's not giving you the va-va-voom you know you still feel inside, and you want to experience again. So, like, you're still, you're like, okay, like, I can still get it, but you're not giving me that.
Okay, carry on.
Yeah. I know that this is the reason why I didn't do the one that we spoke about, because you guys seem like so like when I say like sex anything, so I'm like, You have a conversation where you discuss with him. No, I feel like
carry on.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I just said I wasn't speaking
Boss
about
it.
my fucking
Boss
shit,
it.
so.
Oh yeah. You have a conversation where you discuss this with him, and he suggests you go to a sex party together that he has heard of to see if it reignites anything between the two of you. What do you do and say?
I can tell you straight off. I'm going no sex party.
So what is the
and
conversation?
also, if he suggests it, I'll say, do you know this is finishing our marriage?
I thought you was going to say something.
Do you know that this is finishing our marriage? Because if I ever thought that you would share me with another man.
No, a sex party doesn't mean sharing though.
Well, even having
What are you
sex
going
in
for
front
then?
of somebody else's.
No, it's not necessarily sharing. But yeah, carry
But
on.
even having sex in front of somebody else then, because like, you know, like some other man feeling me up and then me and him go home and have a good night is not congenial with my life. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't share men for a start. You know what I mean? Like, that's the reason why married man, no.
So question.
Do you know what I mean?
Sorry.
Hold on. Because this is you gotta hear both of us first.
No,
Do you know
I
what
was
mean?
just going to put a cravat to that to say, have you ever...
here we go. We're not
foul?
getting personal.
No. I'm just saying, just generally, have you ever felt like the appearance of someone has then helped spear the sexual activity?
If I start thinking about David Beckham, when I really liked David Beckham, you know, back in the day, I mean, he was all around my house. But I wouldn't be thinking about him while me and my husband, friend, partner is having congenial relationships, making love.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If I start thinking about somebody else, it's over. It's over. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be thinking about somebody else. I'm thinking about that person and what we can do together.
Right.
You know, like, if that means that we need to go to a sexual therapist or something to have that conversation of, well, you could juice up your life by doing this together.
Yeah.
Because if anybody's going to suggest to me wife swapping or girlfriend swapping or something, it ain't happening. Do you know what I mean? I am not having any type of sexual... I can't even stand seeing two people kiss on a bloody programme. And that's just kissing. I just went through a film recently, 2 films, and I had to keep fast forwarding through the sex scenes because it's like, I don't want to see somebody else having sex. Do you know what I mean? Or making love.
Watch yourself.
Or doing something. Doing something towards sexual activity. I don't need it. I don't really.
So what would be
need
the so he said that, okay, yeah, I feel you, babe, like you're losing the spark. I've heard of this sex party that's happening. Do you think that would be a good idea? What is your
I
so you're initially like
say, you really don't know me, do you? That's what I would say to you. You really don't know me.
But you
that,
brought it to him
I
to
might
say,
even
I feel
have.
like we're losing
I
our
might.
spark.
I might have a new a new version of reasons to get divorced, because at the moment he's.
There was an old version.
What is it? Well, there is like
The Master Spark is the old version.
You know what I mean? No, I mean like the old version is that irretrievable differences, or you know, having affairs or something like that. Mine would read, he asked me to go to a sex party. He'd be like, I don't think we've got these down on our list or something. Well, I'm sorry.
Is it
You better
really?
find it.
So there's no conversation through that
No.
divorce.
He really don't know me, and now he's changing then, because if he knew me before,
But then you've
and he
both
knew I wouldn't have
changed,
done
that's
that,
the difference.
that means that I have
that's
really
it.
that
But
means
this
I've really
But
changed.
this is where I'm saying, this is the thing of, so you've been together, say that you are older, obviously. So you've been together for a long period of time. I've just put 12 years because I feel like that's a substantial amount. But like, you've been together for a long period of time. You have had a full sex life, so it's been fine. But you're with him. So, but you realise that you're just like, oh, like, it's not coming as naturally now. So that means, therefore, your
stopping
tastes
it
have
altogether,
changed, and their changed.
Go to a sex therapist, you know, go to a sex therapist,
But after
do
him
something
saying,
away from.
after him saying, just suggesting
Oh,
the sex
jeez,
party,
you wouldn't
is
want to
divorce.
suggest that with me.
So you wouldn't say then go back to him and say, oh, can we do sex therapy or something? It's just straight divorce.
It's straight.
don't know.
No, well, he might be. Well, we could go sex therapy, but now you've said that. I'm sorry, I'm never gonna trust you. Not to ever think
Man,
that
had little
you're out there having.
You saw a little leaflet.
You know what I mean? Because like now you're thinking that way.
Right, go on then, Marie.
Yeah, I'm not too far off, to be fair. Like, I would never be with a man that is thinking of shagging another woman anyway. So
Well, being
it's
around.
like, yeah, like, I don't know. Obviously, I get the whole thing of the fizzling out.
Yeah.
And I get that, like, where you're saying, okay, so you've got to the thing, and maybe you know, 12 years, you've probably done most of what both of you are gonna
I feel like 12 years is like giving it easy. That's like 20 or something.
But then I don't know, like, obviously just coming from like a long standing relationship then, so like I feel like we've gone through maybe 3 different stages, maybe even 4 of ourselves, where each time our sex life has had to change. Do you know what I mean? So whether that's like learning something new about yourself, whether it's kids, whether it's, you know, money worries, whether it's like all of these things can change
A relationship.
your sex life, like what we're talking about, literally, because I feel like I'm the type of person that I can't just have sex. Like, I need everything to be jiggy, like with my partner. Like, I need everything to be cool. Like, so maybe I'm a bit thingy.
feed
like
the soul.
yes, like we need to have vibed and jammed. Do you know what I mean?
We need to have vibe, darling.
Yeah, like, you know, and it's like, it's just unsaid because now we just know each other. But like when we was first getting to know each other, and obviously we were teenagers back then, so it is very like you just want to jump on each other. So so now that bit isn't so much like, now it's not that we don't want to jump on each other, but it's like you can hold restraint now. You know,
I already got that.
No, the kids are coming in the
there's
room.
obviously a lot more distractions. Do you know what I mean? So therefore, I feel like any thingy couple should have already been having those types of conversations, like in and out of the time this 12 years. So I wouldn't feel like this should have come as a massive shock to whoever it was then. If this husband's talking about sex therapy, I feel like Mummy said, he he must know that his wife would be open to something like
Yeah.
that, because like I know that my husband just wouldn't.
Yeah.
He wouldn't even approach that with me, just knowing the person that I am and knowing and knowing himself and knowing, similarly, I don't think our relationship could survive a sex party.
what I mean?
Do you know what I mean? Because you might be looking like one person's enjoying it a little too much, or well, how come you let him suck on that boob for so long? Do you know what I mean? And then suddenly it's like, well, like, we wanted to do this together, and it's like, what's sucking on it? No, but that's it exactly. Do you know what I mean?
What's sucking on it?
But that's my point. Like, exactly, like, you don't know.
Would you sex therapy?
I would sex therapy. I've done
So
sex
how
therapy
would that
before.
conversation look for you? Would you feel some kind of way by the suggestion, first of all, and then
By the
how would it
suggestion
go?
of a sex party, I would be looking like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
like,
okay,
like
okay.
in my relationship, that's all I can relate it to.
Yeah,
do you know
yeah,
what I mean? Because I just know that means he's not looking at me like that anymore.
No,
then,
exactly.
because that's been our thing. Like, it doesn't matter how I look.
So remember,
He would always jump on it.
remember-
So if he's not
remember-
jumping at it and he's
So
thinking
guys-
about next
guys,
woman, then
Oh, party.
So just remember that he's not the one that's bought this to you. You've bought this to him.
Oh, you didn't
to
say that.
say,
You
yes,
said
I
that
did.
he
The
bought-
sex
no,
party.
No, so you've brought the conversation up of I feel the
spark,
sparks
yeah,
gone,
yeah.
and I want to like
he
what
says
can
the
we
sex
do
party.
as in to explore avenues
well,
to
then
get
if
this
he's brought
going.
it up just
and
as
then
a thing,
if then he said from that conversation, oh, I've heard
if his
about
first thing
this
was
sex party.
sex therapy, then it's like
No, not
Different.
therapy.
Yeah.
Party.
I know,
I mean,
but
sex
if that's
party,
his first go-to, his party,
Yeah.
it's like,
But then in
Why
the suggestion of like,
party?
Yeah,
he's-
why party?
why
he's
not
so-
us together?
he's
Why
so
not
therapy.
something. Yeah,
but
yeah.
no, I'm even before the therapy. Like, I think if that was his first, as I said, like, oh yeah, sex therapy straight away, then I'm
Party.
like, I'm gonna fucking hell, sex party straight away.
It's like flipping
I know.
the things all over again.
Then I'd be a bit like, well,
What?
you've been thinking
Yeah,
about that. Do you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, for that to, like, my first thoughts would have been like toys, would have been like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
dress up, would have been role play, would have been, I'm gonna meet you at this bar and, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
we
Pretend we
sex
don't
you
know
up,
each other.
yeah.
Like, those would have been my,
Have
Like,
date
let's get
nights.
some steps in, damn it.
between us, what's the things between us? Why are we having to bring out outside resources
Right, yeah.
to our relationship? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
That would be my thing.
I mean-
and then where does it stop?
yeah.
Are we
where
doing
does it
sex?
stop?
Do we have to do sex
We'd be
party?
throwing keys in the bowl.
Exactly. Like, you know what I mean? Is it sex party every week? Is it once
Yeah,
a month?
yeah.
Is it, oh, it's
Do
just a
you like
birthday?
it?
Oh,
thing?
it's just
oh, now
happened,
one
or-
person wants to do it
Sleepovers.
all the time. Do you know what I mean? But I don't.
And do
want
I
to
need to
anymore.
start checking your
Can
phone
I go
now
to
from
the
the
sex
end of-
party
you know
on
what I
my
mean?
own?
No.
Then, you know what I mean?
Could I be in with
you're not,
Stacey?
you're not into
You're
it
into
tonight,
Stacey.
love. I'm just gonna pop down to the sex party instead of the pub.
Oh,
Nah,
right.
no, thank you.
You just walk
just-
in there with your
You know,
magazine.
you just went to
You
this-
boob getting
You know, you just went into the statue.
You're going into Pandora's box there
No,
for me.
that is too much.
Yeah.
What would you do?
Oh,
Sex party?
absolutely no.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mrs. Liberal.
No, I'm liberal when it comes to my own sex. I'm fucking
That's
liberal when
my
it comes to
point.
someone
Yeah,
else's.
that's it.
Ah, yeah, no, it's an absolute no for me.
too jealous for that shit as
exactly,
well.
my lovely partner. Even like my brother-in-law said something like about
Yes.
like I walked out of the kitchen holding the child, and he must have said something like, oh, so these girls were saying that I was good looking today. I was like, oh, what? Exactly. I was like, I'm sorry, he was saying what? I know he ain't even my man. So
Exactly, no.
I generally like, same thing. If I'm not giving you what you want, I am generally like cut and dry. So it's like a case of, if you ain't feeling it, I generally know that I can go somewhere in the world to find someone who's feeling it and will feel it 100%. So if you're really not feeling it anymore,
Without
that's fine.
interventions.
Crack
Yeah.
on. But yeah, that initial thing of like, I would also be hocking up eyebrow like sex party, like
Why is
like
that
there's
even
no
on the list?
there's no introduction. And always in the past as well, when there has been ever conversations of whether we would do like a threesome or something like that, I've always come down to the thing of like, I just rebuttal it straight as if the other person's a man, because I know
You
that
know that's not what
immediately
you want.
the
He's a man,
heterosexual man is like immediately be like, that's not what I was envisioning.
exactly.
And I'm like, well, when
I'm
we
not
do that
envisioning
first,
it.
do you know what I
I'm
mean?
not doing
Because
that.
I'm not even trying to
Not
have
even
two men in there. That would be too much for me.
Not even that.
Did you see that
So,
woman
yeah.
that had sex with 100 men in one day?
Oh no.
And she
Did you
come,
see that?
she come onto the thing. It was on Instagram show, bruh.
Oh, okay.
And she come on the next morning like, oh, I just don't feel well, guys. No shit! 100 men in one day.
How do you even get
That is terrible.
what to climax?
Isn't that a gangbang?
That's what it was
Really?
called back in my day.
So
Yeah, me too.
sorry,
Riding the train.
I probably wouldn't have went straight to divorce. But I would definitely
definitely be
asking
going to
where were you
therapy after
thinking
that,
from?
because
like,
why are you
where did we
thinking
go
like
to
that?
that point? But obviously with the thing of like you said, in the idea of like a man being the man, I probably would have to delve deeper into, okay, was you generally just saying this because it's something you've just come across and now you're thinking, oh, that may be why she's like, that's why I saw that, to mention it to her, for her to be bringing that up. So I would delve into it there. But yeah,
I would
if it
make
was
sure
a case
you
of
know
actually
your
no,
wife,
I just
partner
generally
or whatever before
if
you
you like
suggest
approach
something
that,
like
yeah.
that.
But if it was like a general like, oh, okay, so I've said thinking and they were like, wow, no, I just thought that it would be nice if we just welcome someone into the
And I feel like you would know,
Let me
like,
just
as
print
you
those
said, you
forms
would
off.
know your
There you
own
go, you just
partner.
sign there.
Literally,
You just sign right
yeah.
there.
Exactly.
You'd know your own partner. Like, if you're the type of couple that is like, oh, you know, you can both look at a guy and be like, oh yeah, I know, that's her type, or something like that.
Yeah.
Do you know, if you've got that type of relationship, or you do threesomes
I
already,
generally-
then,
If you're
then
ready
that's
now.
probably
Yeah.
your band.
No,
then
but
you
I
know that
can-
would be something you could
I
mention.
can
but
generally
no,
say,
not me.
like, I can generally take the acknowledgement that another woman is good looking. So if I openly say, like, oh my gosh, her ass is fat, I would generally say, like, my partner is open to look at that and comment on that as well. I don't feel any way in that degree. It's when I, like I've said, like, before, if I hear you, for me, it's more of a case of, like, I'm like,
What's he hackling at?
I'm sorry, when it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me
Meerkat.
what this bitch looks like. Do you get what I mean? It
Old
don't matter
lady.
to me. It
Old
don't
lady.
matter. Old lady, she going down. I'll be like, excuse me, scoot her off.
It's not her fault.
Do you get what I
It's not
mean?
her fault your man fancies her.
No, but that's
This
where
is
I'm
no
saying that's when I cut
Wayne
it.
Rooney.
Because it's not, for me, like, I can take you being physically looking at someone and saying, okay, yeah, they're lovely. It's the ones where I'm like, oh, okay, you're capturing a heart over there, that I'm like, bitch, no. We're not getting that.
Take
to
your
you.
sweet ass over there.
Do you get what I mean? Because no, claimed.
Claimed and shamed.
That was our dilemma. Madam Gaze.
Well,
Paper again.
So we've got
So,
one divorce, one
it is
mediation.
now divorce straight away. I can live without any stress of like, I've got to go
I
and
get stressed.
checking man phone now.
I
and
feel like you was ready for the divorce before you even said
a long
anything.
time
You was
because
like, you ain't busting it like
I ain't
you used
busting it.
to.
I
Bye,
ain't-
homie.
I ain't living with
shit.
having to check somebody's phone every night and, you know, all them shits of, you know, like having to have that headache of, I don't trust my man.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
If I have to check a phone, it's done.
Yeah, that's over. It's over.
It's over. It's
know.
over.
And ladies, we really need to know that, not you ladies, but ladies out there, you really need to know that it isn't worth it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, if it's going downhill, fancy it might be the end of that relationship as you know it. But
Get out before
anyway,
ship sinks.
it's how much?
It's a much.
How much
Which you
is
can't see.
this blind
Oh God,
over your boss?
should be free.
It is velvet.
Velvet.
And it is
in a bathroom.
what's it? Yeah.
Moss green as well. Just say snot. It looks like the snot that comes out when you get one of those, and you just and it's like got one little bit
Can
of
we have
blood
no
and stuff.
editorializing, Blaise?
It looks like it's got blood and mush in there.
I would say.
And it is a
Oh shit! Sorry.
it is a high class thing,
49.
High class.
but it's not designer top.
I want to say like £16, but I know it's not.
Definitely not £16.
It should be about £16, and even then I'm not
It's
being
velvet.
generous.
It's giving
It's
1970s carpet. Literally.
It looks
1970s
vile, man.
carpet.
Just vile.
So let's have a price. Come on, ladies.
I'd say
49 quid.
Yeah.
No, you need to go
200.
a bit further.
Oy, oy, oy.
200.
Okay.
My soul won't let me go past £49. Despite
I know them roller blinds are
Objection.
going to be expensive anyway.
How
and
much
if it's
did you
velvet,
say, Rhea?
200.
Okay, £79.
You said 79.
Yeah.
Okay, I can tell you you're wrong straight away.
Oh shit.
As I say, you
It's
need
gonna
to
be like 6
have
million.
gone higher.
6 million.
Just for the roller.
Exactly.
You don't even get the green
The
one
roller
yet
at the top.
until afterwards you pay the
Yeah,
add-on.
exactly. Yeah, no, me so well.
Wasn't it just
This
right
one.
next?
1,050.
What? Oh my
Right
god.
until you see the picture.
That's just a guide price,
Vile.
actually.
Guide. Oh yeah, because it depends on the size of your window.
Oh God! Starting from as well.
Yeah,
I'd be pissed
Oh,
off.
1,050.
Can you imagine? You did like something like not Saved by the Bell. What was that thing that used to come on? Changing rooms. Don't know if it's still.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But you do changing rooms, and they're like,
And
oh,
the blind
yeah,
is
it's
that
got-
much?
With, like,
I would actually say,
you don't. Know
I want
this
one of those
picture and that.
Artemis,
No, what you
blinds,
say,
and then
you'd be
after
like-
they've done
you'd be
changing
like,
rooms,
Mum, shut
go
up,
and
man!
sell
I'm
it.
talking.
I'd go and sell it, 1,000 quid.
I'd just go in there and be like, for the swap of the room or whatever, you go, oh yeah, there's a fancy blind in there, it's about £1,000, and you're like, oh, it's about £1,000, is it?
Yeah,
Oh, it must be a fancy
selling
blind.
that.
Then you walk in there and you see that, starting from that is, and you'd be
That's
like,
right.
Yeah.
Sell
forget
that shit soon after.
right.
Right.
Why is
how
that
much
blind up on
for this
eBay?
shampoo?
Oh,
Why is it in that bottle?
Russian amber.
No.
Are
I
we
don't
allowed to
like
say
that.
Russia right now?
We
Shampoo
might have to
should
bleep
not
that.
Should not be in
I know,
that
I've
kind
never
of
seen
container.
a shampoo in a
Because
little.
you don't know how
little-
much you're putting
a little
in.
tub
You just
like that.
flub. That's it, half the thing. I know, because of those body scrubs.
I feel like it's maybe
Philip P.
European.
B.
here.
Philip
Just
B.
a dash. you
So
probably
just for
need.
that jar,
I would say that is 79
Okay.
because it's actually named. I mean, it's not
Well,
just
I
Joe
don't know who
Blogg's
Philip B is,
shampoo.
I
It,
don't know
you know what I
either.
mean?
I'm going to
It's got
say
Imperial on
Must
it
be
as well.
somebody.
120.
Okay.
What did I
It
say?
is
79.
79 and 120. It is $160.
Oh,
So I don't know how much
So about
that
120.
converts, but yeah. I thought for a little finger shampoo.
Do you know why? Because they put it in that jar. You know when they put it in a jar
And name
don't
is-
like that. And it don't...
15 ounces.
Oh my god.
That's like...
So that's one shampoo, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's like a little-
especially
that's
in
a
my hair.
sample.
Literally.
I'd be like, I'm like this with the shampoo.
That's what I'm saying. The
Well,
fact
it's
they put
free
it
of
in that jar.
parabens
And then I-
sulfonates, suitable for colour and treated hair, adds volume, just a little bit of product required per use.
Oh yeah, right.
Sure.
Imparts
Can you imagine that?
long-lasting
I'm
glow.
this. I'm like, as I said,
Pleasant fragrance.
I
reduces dryness.
buy the pound one, and I at the end of the the second
I don't even know how you're getting away with that.
second
I don't
time
know
I've
if
done my
those
hair.
Russian-
A pound.
Oh, those Russians are really... They got really thick hair.
No, that's what I'm saying. But I
Must
says
be
if
good.
I
Might
bought
have to try
that
it.
on the second wash, I hear
Expecting this on the Christmas list.
it's finished.
Expectations dwindle.
On the second application, it's finished.
Which means second application for black hair. You're advised to shampoo twice, so you're out, babe.
Yeah,
That's just
exactly.
that done.
Oh, well, I do a bit of conditioning as well.
No, you're supposed to shampoo
From the
twice
pound
then.
shop.
At least.
It's called.
No, don't advertise nothing from the pound shop for black hair, please.
You know what I mean?
Do not
Go
shop
on.
there.
Not follow
I
this
can remember
advice.
this woman saying to me when I bought some dye from the supermarket. I remember this black woman saying, "Does that work on our hair?" And I said, "Yeah, because I've been using it from I don't know.
Can you see me, Brady?
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It does work
Times
away.
I get
I had to pay 40 quid
Shampoo.
to have my hair done before that.
Splash out on a good shampoo at
I'm
least.
like, okay, so when you're asking me a
No, not
question,
necessarily.
I'm like in the hair shop. When you're asking me a question, I am actually a
No,
certified
this wasn't in the hair
hairdresser.
shop.
So
This was in the
it's
supermarket.
Okay. Oh,
That's what I'm saying.
But
You
this
shouldn't
is
be
where I'm
buying
saying
the
cancer,
shampoo
but
in
I'm
the
saying-
supermarket
I'm
as a
saying
black woman.
anytime I see anyone in any kind of shop getting hair products, I'm like, it's okay. I'm a certified hairdresser for you to ask me about these products. But please don't be just asking every Tom, Dick and Harry that you see with black hair how to do their hair, because your hair may be getting fucked up and you might be spending a shitload of money on products. Which I feel like is another thing. You see how black people, how their shops, they flood the market with so many different products, so you don't know what one's worthwhile for your hair. And you have to go through all of this shit. But then white people have like 5-6 different brands, and that's fine.
This is all types.
Miraculously.
Hair
It's
for
not
all
types. Let's
types.
not lie. I still haven't seen
All
an
types
Afro
of,
being washed on TV.
Yeah, wait.
Even in the thing is, it's still a weave. So sorry, so I don't know. So my how much, slightly a little bit different. So you can now get a DVD player for $18.99. How much did DVD players cost when they first came out
120
in 1997?
1997. I should
125.
remember this one actually, because we had one of the first DVD. In fact, it's still in my house.
Does that still work?
Yeah, it's got a scar lead.
I had to tell this man that we don't even have a CD player. Saying, oh, bum a CD. I was like, I don't have a CD player.
Who's got a CD
Do you
player?
know what I mean? I don't know what
I haven't got a
other places on,
CD
even if I
player.
wanted to
That's
buy
true.
it.
Do you know why as well? Sorry, I've asked this question. So Beanie's nursery was like, yeah, we want parents to donate stuff for the Christmas fair, and they were like, can you donate CD players? Sorry, no, CDs.
For what?
DVDs. I said, who are they selling this to? Who? What to do?
Are
What
they
with?
recycling them or
Do you get
something?
what I mean? And
They probably make all
barely used toys. So you want us to either buy you brand new toys or CDs or what the hell are you doing with CDs and
But
DVDs?
what are they doing with them? Have they told
For
you?
the fair, apparently. Sorry, carry on.
to sell.
But anyway,
I thought they were
because if
gonna
we
make
get
like
off it, we're gonna have
light
to start on what's
ornaments
it.
with the CDs or something.
I would say that they probably cost 100 and something as well. Probably 150 or even touching 200.
This was back
actually.
in 1997.
When it first came out.
First come out, and
Yeah.
obviously this is cutting edge top technology back
Yeah,
then, guys.
yeah. But
Cutting edge.
we did have one because of your father, you know what I mean? But we did. And I would say they probably were in the hundreds. Because £100 was a lot. Back in 1990, it was 100. It's still a lot if you haven't got any money. But it was a lot to be paying for anything. 100 and odd. So I'll say 150.
And Ria, you're going, sorry, what was yours?
120.
120. So back in the day, these DVDs went from $700 to $1,000. So in English money back then, which was literally half,
Yeah,
about £350 to about £500
Yeah.
for a DVD player.
It was actually, I was
it's
surprised.
That's what
I
that
was
just shows the listeners
surprised,
depreciation.
And that's been less than 20 years.
But I was actually surprised that
Look at the
microwaves were out
obsolete.
in the 1930s, and it was like microwaves, because I saw in a program like microwaves were out from the 30s, and it's what, really?
That's when they were
Do
pumping
you know
out
what I
their
mean?
radiation. And it was
Yeah,
killing
well, it
lots of
still
people.
pumps out radiation.
Well, they say it's
Apparently.
not as much, but
So we're now on. So hey, congratulate.
hey, congratulate.
What's yours?
Mine is
remember what
congratulations
mine
to a organisation called Rise 365 or Rise 365. I'm not sure how to say it. But they have created, well, first of all, Google Afro hair. Stop it. just Google Afro hair. They have created an emoji. They've created various emojis that include basically black emojis with variations of Afro hair. So they've created this emoji, but they need people to Google. That's all you need to do. You don't need to pay anything. You don't need to sign up for anything. Just Google Afro hair as many times as you can from now up until next year. Like, just randomly, just make it a part of maybe your daily thing. And this will basically help push the algorithm to basically the people that do emojis. I can't remember what the name is, but I'll put that up when I think it. But yeah, basically the people that make emojis, it will push the algorithm for them to show them that this is actually something that people are interested in and need. So if it's not really looked up upon, then they don't really add them in. So if people are thinking, I think it's just really good. So congratulations to them.
Today, I mean, congratulations. But today on one of the programs, I won't advertise them, they had this woman on, middle-aged, with an afro. And I thought, bless you. Bless you.
Well
you got a main program with an afro. Bless you, babes. You know what I mean? And
representation matters.
What is yours, Rish? Or is...
so mine's a hate this week. My hate is Halloween. Just here with the Halloween. I know. Yeah. So I've come to the resolution now that I'm just not gonna celebrate Halloween. Just for the sheer fact of, like, I feel like when I was younger, obviously, as you heard, Mummy definitely didn't celebrate.
Demonic,
so I never really celebrated it anyway. Same thing with the non-pork thing. But I never really celebrated it anyway. But then it was more a case of when I did celebrate it, because I was always like anti-horror films, anti-scare, anti-kind of like any kind of thing that wasn't like stars and rainbows, basically. I just was averse to it because I've never understood the feeling of being entertained by being frightened. I don't understand it. And then I think it was just more, the only reason I got into it was when then I was going to secondary schools and stuff like that for the social factor. But I don't really like do the whole Ouija board or like horror films. No, but like, I mean,
what is just trick or treating for the kids?
No,
the whole point of Halloween outside of but anyway. Outside of the trick-or-treating and the kid thing, like, just everything else about it, like the celebration of a Halloween, like the ghosts and the ghouls and stuff like that, it still freaks me out. Like, it's not even like a thing of like I'm being like anti or anything like that. It's just things that when I'm outside of it, I'm like, yeah, it's not really like... I am getting better at like Christmas, which I used to be a definite bar humbug for that, but in terms of like, just being scared and stuff like that, I'm just like, no, I'm not.
And to teach a child to actually go to somebody's house that you don't know.
Well, I'm not even going into like the detail, like the resonance behind it. And this is what I'm saying, like, I'm not judging in the sense of like, you do what you do and you preach what you preach. At the end of the day, I'm just saying generally, there is nothing that ties me to the experience except the social factor. And I'm like, I don't really do that really even anymore. So it's like, what am I saying that I'm celebrating it for really? Because it just doesn't.
You can't use the word celebrate either connected to it. Why? What are you celebrating?
But we don't use the word celebrate. We just, partake. We decorate and we give out sweets and we'll take them around to get some sweets. Like, it's not anything frigging, like, we're not sitting there putting upside down crosses and rolling eyes. And if I didn't have kids, then probably no, I wouldn't be putting up decorations. But I feel like you're just taking your kid. Like, I know that, as a child, I felt like we missed out. Do you know what I mean? Like, just on that experience, and I don't see why I can't safely include my children in not a celebration, in something that everybody around the world thingy. Like we went to Florida, and that was like the best Halloween I have ever friggin' experienced. Do you know what I mean? Like to see the community vibe that he brings. This is the first time that you speak to some of your neighbours, you get to know other kids in the area. Do you know what I mean? Because like it brings a community vibe if it's done in the right way. Of course there's predators, of course there's always people that want to bring on their satanic and demonic vibes onto anything, or start using you know that you know what I mean, thing for badness, like with the masks and stuff, and then commit crime, of course, but those people will commit crime
Anyway,
365
I'm not
days a
saying
year.
that. I'm not saying that.
And people that are worshipping the devil 365 days a year. They're not waiting for Halloween to do it, trust me. That's all right.
And that's it.
But
Like I said, as far
said,
as I'm concerned, it's not about, I'm never going to be preaching on what other people do and don't do with their situations. And I'm not saying that it's anything that anyone who is celebrating it, or sorry to say celebrating it, but partaking in the festivities, like that it means that it's like a bad thing and oh my god, you should not be doing that. I'm just saying, for me, it's like I've never enjoyed it really. Like I don't enjoy that feeling of being scared, and the whole thing is at the end of the day is supposed to be that you're scared, like
to do that.
You have that feeling, or you're getting a rush from that, and I've never liked that, and I'm never going to be selling something that I don't really do. So it's just like it wasn't adding anything to my life. It's not taking anything out of my life, me not doing it. Like I feel like I'm going to miss out more on tea at the moment than the joys of Halloweening. But yeah, that's my hate.
And mine is...
Let me get to the end of the podcast. Didn't even just slurp up the last bit of saliva that I used to have my last word.
Okay.
Come on then, Gweth.
Mine is congratulations, Reasha, for showing us 2 films, not one.
Shows.
2. And I've still
Mummy
got one
with
to
a
go.
film.
So showing me 2 films that I can actually...
I watched the
I have actually
series
enjoyed, and
can you
one
name them
was...
as well?
We're not supposed to be... Oh yeah, we can do.
What?
The first one was...
Why?
No, I just thought you said you don't promote stuff.
Oh no, I'd promote these Mama Jammers.
And the other one was Black Cake. Have you finished watching it yet? Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, go for it. Don't wait to.
And on Prison.
Hey, Reasha
and How
says
to Die Alone.
You know what I mean? These 2 films, they are black based. So
they're series guys.
They are unique. Yeah, they are series. But on both series, both of them, you know what I mean? You do get to the end pretty fast because you want to know what's going to happen. I mean, there is loads of stuff that I've watched in the past and I haven't even remembered to go to the next episode, you know what I mean? But I actually, what do they say? Went for it all till I finished. What's the word? Streamed it or binge watched it.
Yeah, that's it.
Both of these films. So congratulations, my dear daughter, for recommendations.
I feel like I've got to say, like on top of that, congratulations to like
the 2 people that
Disney for kind of putting Star on there, so that we're seeing these shows that are getting promoted in America, but are like the representation that we also need to know that like it's not about, once again, we're kind of coming almost full circle. I'm not gonna like get too gassed on it, but full circle from this stage of where it was like all of us and like so these are all the films that I used to watch on Trouble, like TV shows like One on One and blah blah blah, and it's not necessarily about like black people getting perpetuated in a negative light, and it's about gangsters or drugs or something like that. It's about rich black people living in their rich black people lives. Do you know what I mean? They're normal rich black people lives. It's not about how they struggle to get them there, and no, it's just an everyday. We are normal humans as well, so that it's not getting perpetuated this same message of we're all gang people
that we're lacking.
Yes,
to
but then
uplift
it is
and
it's then to
humanise
say
us to other
scenarios,
people.
to say like this is just a normal person's story being told without it being framed about them being a black person. It's negative, because then when it does get to the point where now we're all just normal human beings and everyone's seen as normal human beings, there's no excuse then to say
shoot somebody
okay.
What's it?
Yes, because they were a gang figure. No, they were a lawyer.
Yeah, exactly.
Who had a degree and was actually looking after your kids. Do you know what I mean? Or like have done something for you. What is the beef now then? Like what is the excuse now then? But
well, congratulations, Rish. Raise it up a little.
Do you know what I mean? Like this bitch over here.
Yeah, but it was two very good films, and I congratulate series that and hopefully there will be another season on both of them. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I feel like Thingy was maybe finished,
rounded up,
but the season
the
2
Black Cake one.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair,
it says it's a season. It did say season 1.
I know, but they have.
So they never know. If it gets taken up, they'll say season 2.
I
So
feel
it's
like
up to us as black people or white
to
people
watch it.
to actually
and that's
watch
where
it.
I'm saying take away that it's up to us as black people. It's just a good
not
show.
backwards, just a
It's
good,
a good show.
It's a good,
Do you get what I mean?
series.
Like,
for any
and that
situation,
that
you
is
know what I
it.
mean?
Like I feel like,
And that is what I thought.
Perpetuation
That there's no perpetuating stuff in it. It's just a show. So congratulations. That's my congratulations.
Thank you, sis. It was definitely my thingy viewing this week.
Yeah.
Most definitely enjoyed that. Took me out of me own kind of
And
normal viewing.
And
Riddle to
end
End.
everything. What has a head but no brain? What has a head but no brain?
A penis.
Happy Halloween, guys!
No,
My time to
I will not say that.
Don't comment.
Don't
Subscribe.